not pro-rape. I am not pro-child sex abuse material, okay? But I am defending a client because the U.S. Constitution tells me that's what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'll do the best job I could possibly do for this client.
Well, and it's a super important job because it's on one hand you have people who didn't do it. And
Yes, I have plenty of innocent clients, and thank God I've got them off.
yeah,
And it's a very scary thing.
if somebody gets accused of a sexual crime of some sort and they didn't do it, I mean, it is imperative that a guy like you step up and take on these cases
That's right.
so that an individual's life isn't absolutely ruined.
Right.
How does one you mentioned smart guys like me, which is probably putting me on a definitely not that. But how do normal guys, everyday guys, fall into these types of situations where they need somebody like you?
It's a great question. I sit across from people at the worst moment of their lives. I really do. But these aren't reckless people. They're certainly not stupid people, and they're definitely not career criminals, right? These are smart people. These are educated, they're successful, they're respected. Some of them are leaders in their own communities. And now they're asking me the same question: how did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And the bottom line is nobody wakes up one day and decides that's the day to ruin their life. No one wakes up one day and say, today I want everything to collapse and I should get arrested for a sex crime. It always starts with a compromise. And that compromise is always feels very small,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's what happens. You start a small little pattern that you start to compromise on, and it becomes a secret. And that secret grows and grows and grows, and impulse control starts to fail.
Mm-hmm.
And in the back of your mind, someplace, you're doing something wrong, but you can't stop. And you don't understand why you can't stop. And unfortunately, if it doesn't get checked, this pattern becomes a terrible pattern. And, you get arrested. But if you understand the pattern, you could definitely interrupt it and prevent it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and that's and when we say that it can kind of spiral downward in this pattern, you're talking about, let's say, a guy that's just getting kind of caught up in run of the mill, kind of stuff, or adult movies, that kind of thing. Um, and then that cascades into. Are you seeing that cascades into other things like, hey, now I'm going to go get a hooker. Now I'm going to
Well,
go.
exactly. That's the progression of the stuff. It starts off with, I can manage this. I'm only doing it, 10 minutes a day. To I deserve this. I might as well do it a half hour a day. To no one's ever going to find out about this, so let me do it an hour a day. Or this is going to be a temporary thing. This is just until I find a girlfriend, or this until my wife, does what I want her to do, so to speak. And that impulse control failure rarely looks like chaos at first. It looks like controlled indulgence. And sometimes it's financial risk, and sometimes it's sexual risk, and sometimes it's substance abuse risk, and sometimes it's just cutting corners.
Hmm.
But the problem is the brain is rewarding the novelty and the secrecy of it. You're getting dopamine hits every time you're getting away with it. And if you're a high functioning person, and most of my clients are very high functioning people, they could compartmentalize everything. And but compartmentalization is a debt instrument,